Hello crafters, welcome to the Crafty Corner. Go grab your art supplies and let's make a new craft today. Today we're going to make this bird that rocks. Rock, rock, rock. Look at that, rockin' robin. Okay, so there's a bird that we're going to make. If you want to come on down to the library and grab the packet. There's really not much in the packet. You're going to have some yellow construction paper and you're going to have this weird template because this is going to be his wings, his tail feather, and his head. And then you're going to have a paper that just has this weird arc on it. So let me show you what you have to do. All right, so what we're going to want to do first is cut on this arc. So I'm going to take my scissors. This is the part that rocks. So we're going to cut this right here and cut that part off. And remember, we throw our trash away. Now I'm going to take this and fold it directly in half. And there's our bird body. You're going to just trace around where you were and cut. Try to cut as smooth as you can and not jaggedy, because that way when we set our bird up, whoops, he will rock. Okay, and if you cut with a little bit of a jagged motion, you can always trim this up just a little bit. You know, just come in here and trim off wherever it's not so smooth. Okay. Now, once you have that, you can lay it flat and color it. So, I thought about the state bird of Indiana is a cardinal. So, let's go ahead and make a cardinal. A cardinal is, a lot of people just call them red birds, but it does have the name cardinal. It is the most popular, and there is stuff underneath me that's causing ripples in my paper, my coloring. Maybe I should move over just a little bit. So as I was saying, cardinal is a state bird of Indiana, but it's also the state bird of Kentucky, and I believe like 8 other states. So cardinals are one of the birds that you are going to see a lot here in Indiana. So I have a book here called Go Birding, and birding is a lot of fun. You have to have some patience. You really need to have a binoculars or a camera because, you know, I really didn't realize that birds had so many different colors to them, similar to this one, this bird over here. Until I started birding. And once I started birding and looking at birds up close, most birds are not just a single color, but when you see them flying, they sure do just look brown or whatever. So birds are not boring. I think they're awesome. So there's my body, okay, and you could use markers. Yeah, I suppose you could even use some paint if you wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and color now his head. And because we're cutting this out, I can just scribble right over the shape. This is one of his wings. And another one of his wings and his tail. All right, now the wings and the head and the tail, they're two-sided. So I'm just going to flip this right on over. I'm going to hold it up just a little bit so I can sort of see the shape through it. And I'm just going to color this as well, so the whole bird is going to be red. Hopefully I don't miss any parts. Let's get the rest of that wing. Okay, his head was about right here. Yep, about got it. And over here, you can go ahead and color all that. So right now in May, it is bird migration season. So if you go out to any wooded area, you are going to see lots of different birds. One of the type of birds that come through this area are called warblers. So I believe this one is a hooded warbler. You see the little black line around there that sort of looks like he's wearing a hood. You will see them here in Indiana. So go out and explore. Birds are awesome. I mean, of course, everybody knows the blue jay, maybe the blue bird. Red-winged blackbirds are very common around here. Okay, and then of course, if you look high in the sky, you might see eagles or hawks, vultures. Now for the head, I'm cutting inside because this circle is rather large for the head, so I'm going to cut it in just a little bit so he doesn't have such a large head. So I'm getting all that black cut away from that circle. I'm going to probably do the same thing here, just cut on the inside. And since I've already cut the back side, or colored the back side, we have red on both sides. All right, so what other kind of birds can you name, boys and girls? Can you think of any? There's the dove. Yeah, I saw one of those in my backyard this morning. Okay. Now we're going to put our bird together. So I am going to glue his head, and I'm pretty jagged right there. I don't like that jaggedy part, so I'm going to trim him up a little bit so he's not so jagged. All right. So I'm going to put my head here, and then the tail is going to go inside right here. Now on my other bird, I had sort of made a jaggedy tail. Not all tails look the same. So I'm just gonna leave this one. And look, you can even angle it a little bit. So you can, if you want him to be doing a different type of flying motion, maybe you can move your tail a little bit. So I'm just gonna use some glue stick. Let's see here. I'm just gonna put a little dab of glue there and put his head on. On the inside here, I'm just going to dab a little bit and put the tail in. I'm going to lift it up a little bit like he's a happy bird. There is one bird called the wren, and that wren keeps his tail up almost all the time. Now, I didn't give you any wiggly eyes or anything, so we're just going to draw the eye in this time. If you have wiggly eyes at home, you can add that in. And we're going to make just a little beak here. So we're just going to make a little triangle. Okay. And again, just need a little bit of glue on the back side. Okay, and now his eyes should go on both sides, so I can see right where it came through. So when he's sitting on your desk or she's sitting on your desk and she's rocking, you can see both eyes. Okay, now for the wings, you are going to want to make a glue, a place where you can glue it down. So we're going to tab it over just a little bit. Okay, so we're folding the paper just a little bit, and that will give you a place to glue down so that the wing can flap. So I'm just going to put some glue right here on the little tab that I made. I'm going to glue him down, and I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to try to match the angle of the wing. So I'm going to put the glue here and then match the angle so the wings sort of match. And there we have our beautiful cardinal, state bird of Indiana. Look, she can fly. Whee! All right, boys and girls, sometimes I have too much fun with my crafts. Okay, so this is our rocking bird. Come on down to the library and grab the packet so that you have the template to make him. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week, where I'll have another craft just for you. Bye.